Greetings, comrades. This is Andre Guedes Desjardins with a March of the Machines Cracker Pack. This pack has been brought to you by My Shop is Drafting this Saturday. Please come out and draft with us. This Saturday, May 27th at 2 p.m. Please come out and draft. Alright, get rid of that. Gotta rearrange the battles and everything. Okay, so you're the rare. Your uncommons, your commons. Excellent. Let's go. Alright, so moment of truth. This is the anticipated of the set. One in the blue instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards in hand. The right one in your graveyard and one at the bottom. It's similar to anticipate. I guess it's slightly better, but despite blue being the best color overall, still, not looking to play this card. If you end up playing it, it's not an embarrassment or anything, but no. Alright, Swordsworn Cavalier, 1 and a white for a creature human knight, a 3/1, and it has first strike as long as another knight enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So this card is in actually the best deck, Azorius Knights. Mono white is actually the best performing monocolor deck, but that means you had an insane draft, and realistically, most times you're probably going to be Azorius Knights. That being said, I'd be happy to play this card. It has a very high win rate according to 17 lands. I'm still not... I wouldn't be stoked to first pick it, though. I'd be hoping for something more powerful, but like if it's a dud pack, I'd be happy to take this card. Alright, Arachnoid Adaptation. It's a green for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gain reach till end of turn. Untap it. I know a while back this was actually the best green common, and it's a good card, but just the fact I look at like the best performing list and like green is not at the top in any of them, or the best performing commons, I'm not looking to first pick an Arachnoid Adaptation, though it's a really good combat trick, especially in a much more casual environment. You're going to get people, but I'm not looking to take it. Cut Short, it's instant. It's a white and 2 colorless for an instant with Convoke. Destroy target planeswalker that's activated this turn or tapped creature. The successful white decks really isn't about removal in this format. Cut Short, like it reads fine, and again it's fine, but it's not a high performing common. Commons like these always have problems with their reactive, so your opponent like got to attack, or in this case activate their planeswalker once, which is something this normally doesn't do, and Convoke makes it good. You can put this in your deck, there won't be a problem, but not looking to first pick it. I'd rather actually have the Swordsworn Cavalier. Because with battles in the format, this format has a lot to do with battles. And snowballing out of control, I want the 2-drop that can attack fairly well over this reactive card. That being said, if I took Swordsworn Cavalier and Cut Short tabled, I wouldn't be upset to take it if I was still in white, but I'm not taking it over that. Plancid Rasset Tail, he's a cute little fungus rabbit. He's 1 green for a 1/1 Vigilance, and for 2 and a green, you can exile him from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. The 1-drops are fine. Like, he's a fine card to play. There's a lot of X1s in this format. Most of the commons and uncommons most of the commons that flip with Phyrexian are actually X1s, so he blocks and gets little value. Convoke in battle, just make him playable. He's fine, but he's not near the level of Swordsworn Cavalier, so nope. Coming in hot. This is your Fervent Strike variant. Your 1 red, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1. It's a fine combat trick if you're in the format for that. I think most decks aren't in for combat tricks besides, I don't know, maybe green-red, but you'd rather Arachnoid Adaptation because it's both offensive and defensive. I rarely see this played. Yeah, so no, not looking for this either. Ooh, Deadly Derision. Here we go, we have a contender. It's an instant, 2 black, 2 colorless, destroy target creature or planeswalker, create a treasure token. Yeah, this card is insane. It's in black, which is Demir's like the second best color. I believe Rakdos is also in the top pairs. So yes, I'd super be happy to play Deadly Derision. Just the fact it can deal with most bombs, I'm going to pick it over Swordsworn Cavalier, though if you wanted to just beat face, I wouldn't blame you for taking the Cavalier. And Deadly Derision is a common I'd be happy to take. Next up, Blossoming Sands. Enter the battlefield, tap. When there's a battlefield, you gain a life. Tap for a green or a white. These lands, if I'm in my color, I would take them over any other playable. I'd want to be in that color, or trying for 5-color soup. With 5-color soup, I'd want to open like an Invasion of Alara or something before I try 5-color soup, or just be in some weird draft pod. But I would take these lands when you know you're in those colors as like a C+. Like I'd take them over just any other playable. But I don't want to first pick it, and it's definitely not as powerful as these other cards. Alright, Beamtown Beatstick. 1 red, artifact equipment, equipped creature is +1/+0 and has Manasseh. When it deals combat damage to a player or battle, create a treasure token, equipped for 2. This is actually a very important card for the red-black sacrifice deck. Enables attacks, gives you treasure and stuff to sacrifice. That being said, I'm taking Deadly Derision for that deck beforehand, and I want to be in the deck before I take Beamtown Beatstick. Run 1 or 2 of them in my deck, definitely not 3. But this equipment has actually impressed me. For something that just seems so meh, it has super impressed me. I'm happy with it. Alright, for Universes Beyond, Dakthos Blessed by the Sun. It's a 2-white for 2 stars. Stuff is equal to your devotion to white. And whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain a life. I mean, he's kind of a 2-drop in the white aggro decks. White X aggro decks. He's fine, but no, he's not a knight. He really has nothing to do with the backups. He's meh. You might play him if you're more heavily white. But I'd rather Swordsworn Cavalier to start off with. 1, because it's a knight, and 2, it's white and 1 as opposed to double white. The life gain's nice, but there's nothing super much to do with the life in this format, so not really looking to play him. Invasion of Belilon. When it enters the battlefield, siege and opponent protects it. When it enters the battlefield, you make a 2/2 white knight with vigilance. It has 5 defense, and it flips into Glorious Anthem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. The battles that aren't creatures are, I find, slightly worse, because you want it to get snowbally. The 2/2 Vig for 3 is really understated. That being said, I have played it. It's been fine sometimes, but I'm not slam dunking this and be like, yes, we're getting there. Like, no, 5 is a lot to flip. The fact, when you have this, you really don't want to trade creatures in combat to flip it, because you're not getting a better creature. You're just getting a little boost for all of them. But it's certainly not unplayable. But I'm not looking to do it. Scrappy Bruiser. Alright, he's 3 in a red for 3/4. Whenever he attacks, up to 1 creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Gains trample until end of turn. Return that creature to the owner's hand at the end of combat. Sadly, this is not the set for him. There's not super many enter the battlefield triggers. There is backup, but unfortunately, and I even played 2 of him in a backup deck. The backup creatures tend to be rather expensive, or like the 0/1 that moves counters. Your opponent can just block and kill it relatively easily. Something it worked well with like the first striker or the flyer, which he does work well with. Having them come in, put the counter on Scrappy Bruiser, and then having them attack and Scrappy Bruiser pumping them, like, is good, but they cost 4 and 5 mana, and that is a lot to ask for. So, sadly, Scrappy Bruiser, I'm not picking you. He almost always tables. Like, if you want him, he's going to be there. No one else really wants him. But, like, I love you, Scrappy Bruiser. You're an awesome raccoon. Alright. Mirror Shield Hoplite is a white and a red for a 2/2 vigilance, and whenever a creature control becomes the target of a backup ability, that ability, you may copy it, and this ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah, so for the backup deck, you're much rather Mirror Shield Hoplite. I haven't had much success with it, but I have seen Boros decks like this that just steamroll me, and often he's a part of it. So I still don't want to start 2-color, though. I'd still rather either Daily Division or Swordsworn Cavalier. Daily Division specifically. But the Boros decks, they're not the lowest rank, but they're not the highest rank. They're certainly playable, but I think he's a big part of them. Alright. Render and Hurt, a black and 2, remove up to 5 counters from target permanent, draw a card, sorcery. You're basically going to use this to kill a battle. If your opponent has a Planeswalker, great. Like, you really don't want this, use this to remove counters from backup, though you can sometimes kill a Phyrexian Incubator token with it, which is a fine use, but I started on the side. I'm definitely taking just the unquestionable removal, but look for chances to side it in. Even if you have one battle, like 1 or 2 battles, I wouldn't play it, but like if I had 2 battles and my opponent was on the Phyrexian Incubator tokens, yeah, then I look to side it in. It's fine then. Alright. For a rare, we have Rona, Herald of the Invasion. 1 blue, a colorless for legendary creature, human wizard. When you cast legendary spell, untap Rona. Great, super. Tap to draw a card, discard a card. He's a 1/3. Okay, that's cool. And 5 in black, transform him, only activate as a sorcery. And on the back, he is Rona, Tolarian Object Obliterator. 5/5 trample. Hooray! Whenever a source deals damage to the Obliterator, that controls exiles a card from their hand at random. Stand card you may put on the battlefield under your control, otherwise you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Yeah, so I would... He's on consideration right now. Just the 1/3 Looter's pretty good. Like, it blocks pretty well in this format. The fact you can flip it into something big. So the 2 I'm considering right now are Rona and Daily Division. Probably going to start with Rona. Just the fact that, he is a creature. He doesn't attack battles well, but he defends them very well. The looting is awesome. It's always underrated and limited. And the fact it becomes like this big 5/5 dumb afterwards is great. I'm not sure if it's actually correct. Maybe Daily Division just is, but Rona's in the best color, the color I want to do, and he lets me draw cards and do nothing and eventually win the game by himself. So that's what I'm taking. Just want to make a note about splashing in this format, because the tokens here. Splashing, just like 1 or 2 cards from your otherwise good 2-color deck, drops your win percentage by like 4% on average. So I just know a lot of people like to splash, and it's probably less correct to do it more than it is. Just a thought. Alright. So this is Andre Aguirre Desjardins. Everyone, have a great day.